Hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. Today you join me on one of my favourite forms of fishing, as you can probably tell on the channel, fishing the stick float. But today's something special. It's one of them classic River Dane swims. Now anyone who's fished the River Dane in Cheshire will know what a magical river the River Dane is. Today we're amongst all the trees, you can probably hear them creaking in the background. It's an intimate swim, there's certainly not enough room for me to show you the whole rod, and it's one of them lovely little gems of a swim that you see. It's not often that I think, and you know you're going to catch, but I will be amazed if we don't catch something in this swim today. It is beautiful, and as you can see behind, the sun's just coming through. I'll quickly go over the tackle. It's my 14-foot dreading aculite. And as you can see, it's stuck on a tree. That's how intimate the swim is. My Shimano Techium reel, 4 pound 4 ounce float fish, and I'm fishing a 2 pound 6 ounce hook link. Now normally I fish a 1.7, but as you'll see in the swim, I think I'm going to need that little bit extra power today to, you know, if I hit a decent fish, to steer it away from the snags. So that's the talking done. Let's have a look at this swim, and it is a beautiful swim. So all swims have a front door, and you can see the conditions outside. Bright blue skies with the odd bit of candy floss cloud. You come down and then you turn into the swim, and here we are. And I say my box is going to be there. You'll probably be looking from that position in a bit, and there's the swim. I get a lot of questions about what swims to look for. Now on a bright hot day like this, the first thing you'll notice is cover. Look how dark the water is, all the trees and the dark water. Obviously you've got the sun further down, and that will move during the day, but with all that tree cover you're going to have some form of shadow. You then look at the water. I don't think you can see over that far side there, but can you see how you can see the bottom there, whereas here it's dark water and you can't see the bottom. It tells me there's a bit of depth there, and that's where the fish are going to like to be. And you see a fish just top mid water there. So you have to excuse me because I've got a cold today if you keep hearing me sniffling. So what do I see in the swim? Well, here, if you're new to river fishing, this time of year when there's a few leaves falling, it gives it away. You can see the main flow of the river goes around there. You got this back eddy here, which I would suggest is the danger zone. That's where the snags are going to be. But you can see the natural flow of this peg goes straight to that raft. Now, I'll be starting on the outside here and trying to pick up any fish that have naturally come onto the bait. And only go hard if you have to. That's what I was always taught. Start easy, go hard when you have to, and that's the hard line, because it goes straight to the snag, and if you hit anything on the snag, it's going to be a battle of wills to get it out. But on this inside line, can you see how the leaves move slower on that inside line? Where that leaf's just landed down here, the leaves are moving a lot slower than this inside line here. So although this looks like the best line to go down, because it's the most obvious, the actual better line is where that little bit of wind's coming through on the left hand side of the swim. That's what I see in the swim. I get loads of questions about what to look for, and this is what I look for when the conditions are so low and so clear. You're looking for dark water, cover, and a nice pace. So let's get that first cast in. I can't wait. And there we go, the first fish of the day, the silver dart, the dace, and that does fill me with confidence, because where there's one of these, there's normally more. A cracking first fish of the day, the lovely dace. Ever obliging. Let's get her back. Right, so third fish of the day, a roach, which shows the diversity in the river, and I've missed loads of bites, so there's a few fish down there, whether they're minnows I don't know, but yeah. Third fish of the day, a nice little roach. Right, and there we go, the third species of the day. A little grayling, and typically wiry and hard to hold. But yeah, so a dace, a roach and a grayling so far. Rivaling masses on the great rod race soon, won't we? 5 bites and 4 different species, a dace, a roach, a grayling and now a billy. So side tray for today: maggot, about 2 pints of red maggot, Cheshire particle hemp, bits and pieces, bay of pearl on £2, hook link, number 8 weights, number 4 weights, a plummet, a packet of hooks, and obviously the pink disgorger. And that is as little amount of tackle as you need to have a little bit of fun. Been putting the maggots down here, and I've been getting the bites probably round about there, and it's no surprise that it's coming exactly where I'm putting the hemp. And that is what hemp does for you. You put your maggots in, it's about 4 or 5 foot deep, this swim maybe, so you put it in, judge the speed and the depth for how long your maggots are going to take to get to the bottom, and put your hemp so they both kind of meet the bottom at the same point, but your hemp is you saying where you want to get your bites. And today I've been putting it there to try and draw the fish up from that snag. If there's any decent fish, they're going to be sat underneath that snag. Swims like this with all the cover in summer might only hold small fish, and in winter a swim like this could hold 20-30 pound of proper chub, 3 or 4 pound chub. The river is so vastly different in the seasons. We could come back here in winter and catch nothing. So just casting in, feeding only a few maggots because so far we've only had small fish upstream, and the hemp around about there. And that is kind of where we've been getting the bites. And just hold the float back against the flow on the hemp to make it go slower through that area. You know, you got to think of all the food that's going past the fish, give them longer to make that decision. And obviously the bottom of a river moves a lot slower than the top, and your bait's going down the bottom, whereas your float is on the top. So holding it back not only gives them longer to make the decision, but makes it look more natural in the water. And there we go, another silver dart. Absolutely beautiful fish. The birds singing, there's a woodpecker about, there's been a mink as you've seen, and beautiful. In a day and age full of noise, I'll just leave the camera to run for a few moments. What I'm hoping this video does show is that, you know, fishing isn't always about big nets of fish. We do at times live in a world in angling where it seems like if a carp isn't £20 it's not worth catching, or blogging. It doesn't make a blog. If a net's not over £20 it's not worth having. If in a match, if you've not had over £100 of carp, then you know you've not done good. And I think, you know, this part of fishing is getting a bit lost, just going out and enjoying getting a few bites. And don't get me wrong, you know, there's times where you want to go out and catch a big net of fish and you enjoy catching it, but there are times when it's just nice to go out and get a few bites and just see the float going under and just enjoy fishing in its most simplest form. Today, the few bites that I've had have been enjoyable, and hopefully this blog shows that it doesn't have to be fished past these invisible barriers to make a good day's fishing. And there we go, another fin perfect river roach. The sign of a healthy river, fish of all year classes. It's a small dace if I'm not mistaken, and that is the sign of a healthy river. And the species hunt continues. A tiny little gudgeon. Perfect. Here we go. We started with a dace, so let's finish with one. A lovely silver dart to end a session. Let's have a look at that little final net that we've had off this small little waterway in probably what I would say 2 hours fishing. I would think 2-3 hours fishing, and yeah, been an enjoyable hour or two on the bank. So let's get this little guy back and have a look at that little final net. Right, so there's the final net. Roach, perch, gudgeon, dace. Yeah, an enjoyable couple of casts on the river this weekend. Let's get these guys back. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Right, so you guys who like watching to the end of the video, this one's for you guys. While I was doing that video, I was putting in a bit of hemp and a bit of maggot into this little pond that's close to where I was fishing. So, not going to do too much, but let's just see what we can get out of this little pond that I've been baiting up for probably the past 2 or 3 hours. Weedy as anything, but 1 or 2 clear patches. Let's see what we can get. So there we go, another species to add to the list. A rudd, fin perfect, and in amongst this weed there could be anything. Absolutely anything. I'm just hoping he's not a 20-pound carp. We got no chance. Right, so into a bit of a rod bender here. Oh, let's see what it is. Oh, it's a little carp. Let's get him in. There we go, a perfect little carp. Absolutely fin perfect. Not a mark on it. And a bit heavy in that swim. But yeah, a lovely fish. And another species to add to the total. So if you watch to the very end, I think anyone that doesn't will be amazed if you type carp in the comments. It would be fantastic. Oh no. Proper bend in the rod. Oh no, man.